Hey, yo, Shalom. All praises go to the Most High Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Rawakadash. Double honors unto the elder apostles at Great Millstone for the teachings of the scriptures, among other things. And Shalom to the sincere Akim across the world. Back at it again. You know, when I say we, I mean the Jacob descendants all across the world. You know, you got brothers all over the place. You know what I'm saying? You got America, you got Australia brothers, you got brothers in England. Germany, what? Germany and other places in the Netherlands and stuff like that. That's what I say. That's what I mean to say we're waking up. You know what I'm saying? So today I made a video about well, a few weeks ago actually, I made a video about my father was called a Syrian, right? Which is Abraham was called a Syrian back in those days. But is he from the tribe of, is he from the nation of Aram, which is Syria, right? I'm going to show you that is not the case. Because if you read the book of Genesis chapter 10, right? And I'm going to also go up in the downfall of America. Because if you didn't know, I'm in Amsterdam city right now. And of course, they have a feast. I think this is Pride Month or something like that. I'm not sure. Because I see them things all over the place. The whole metro is full of them. I saw it last week when they began. I think it's what, August? August is their month or something like that. I don't know. Anyway, so I saw them plan. I mentioned it last week also when I came here in the metro. The whole metro station, Central Station. You got two places in Central Station for the metro. They decked them all out. They decked them all out with the rainbow 6 color thing and stuff like that. But anyway, I mean. Yeah. So, now this is Genesis chapter. Damn. Bear with me for a minute, right? Now this is Genesis chapter 10, verse. Now this is Genesis 10 and this is Genesis 10 and let me see, 22. The children of Shem, Elam, Ashur, and Arphaxad, and Lud, and Aram. So Shem had Aram also, right? And we came from, it's mentioned here too in Genesis 10, but I'm gonna go to another one where it's actually put up in order. You know, the good order of what the bloodline of what the bloodline is of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And it says, damn, my voice is cracking up. I gotta tie up my stuff. Let me get the 1 Chronicles chapter 1. First Chronicles chapter 1 verse. I start at 17, and then I'm gonna jump afterward to jump to 24. So let me tie this up a little bit before the wind start, you know, messing up my garment and stuff like that. But anyway, the book of Genesis First Chronicles, it's the same thing as Genesis chapter 10, but only in a, you know, in a proper order, easier order. Because in Genesis 10 you have to figure it out. No, not to figure it out. I mean, you got to look at it for yourself. You got to line up yourself. But anyway, now this is First Chronicles chapter 1 verse 17. The sons of Shem, Elam, Ashur, and Arphaxad, and Lud, and Aram, and Uz, and Hul, and Gether, and Meshach. And Arphaxad begat Shelah, and Shelah begat Eber. Now Shelah, now we come, well, I'm gonna read it on later. Now it says verse 19, and unto Eber were born 2 sons. The name of the one was Peleg, because in his days the earth was divided. And his brother's name was Joktan, right? Because in those days the Most High divided the earth. So that's why the nations ain't together no more. But what Esau is doing, he's heaping up all people up on one. And That's the same thing that happened in Babylon. That's the same thing that happened in the time of Antiochus in the book of 2nd Maccabees, chapter, I think it's, no, 1st Maccabees chapter 1. Let me double check that. 1st Maccabees chapter 1, which is... 1st Maccabees 1. First Maccabees chapter 1, verse 1, which is, let me see. Right, so it says here, First Maccabees chapter 1, verse 41. It says here, moreover, King Antiochus wrote to the whole kingdom that all should be one people. So since then, he's trying to do the same thing that they did back in ancient Babylon, right? Verse 42. And everyone should leave his laws. So all the heathens agreed according to the commandment of the king. So all the heathens that was round about in that time agreed with Antiochus, like, okay, we're going to leave our laws even, and then we're going to follow your ways and stuff like that, which is the ways of Saturnalia, Bacchanalia, basically Satanism, you know? Because they was what? They was doing what? Kitty porn. They was doing incest. They was doing bestiality. They was doing all type of things in Rome and in Greece. You know, they was doing all these things, you know what I'm saying? And this is modern day Greece once more, back at it again, you know? But anyway, so back to the book of Genesis, no, First Chronicles, chapter 1, verse 19. And unto Eber, which is Ibar, which is where Abraham came from, you know, through that line. We'll go up in it. And Eber, and unto Eber were born two sons. The name of the one was Peleg, because in his days the earth was divided, and his brother's name was Joktan. Now I'm going to jump to 24, because 20 until 23 mentions the children of Joktan, right? Now I'm going to jump to 24. Shem, Arphaxad, Shelah, Eber, Peleg, Rehu, Serug, Nahor, and Terah, because Nahor, Terah, his father was named Nahor, and then when he got his son, he named his son Nahor also, right? And from Nahor comes basically the ones that I was talking about, which are called Syrians. Bethuel the Syrian is from Nahor, right? And you can read about that, and let me get that for you. Now, Genesis chapter 25, verse... Now it says here, let me see, Genesis 25 and... Genesis 25 and... Genesis 25 and 19. I can't believe I was looking for it. Anyway, so it says here, and these are the generations of Isaac, Abraham's son. Abraham begot Isaac, and Isaac was 40 years old when he took Rebekah to wife, the daughter of Bethuel the Syrian of Padan Aram, the sister to Laban the Syrian of Padan Aram. So, and you can find that out in the book of Genesis chapter 22. Who those are, of course. Now Genesis 22 and let me see. I start at 20. And it came to pass after these things that it was told Abraham, saying, behold, Milcah, she had also borne children unto thy brother Nahor, Buz his firstborn, and Buz his brother, and Kemuel the father of Aram, which is not the Aram from Genesis 22. But, you know, he's also a progenitor from Aram. And if you check out the lineage of Yahushua, you will see Aram in there too. even a Canaan, an Israelite named Canaan. You know what I'm saying? So you had Israelites with all these diverse names and stuff like that. Anyway, going on. Verse 22. And Chesed, and Hazor, and Pildash, and Jilab, and Bethuel. And Bethuel begat Rebekah. These 8 Milcah did bear to Abraham's brother, to Nahor, Abraham's brother. So it's from that line over there. So was Abraham actually from the land of like the lineage of Aram? No, because if, like I said, if you go to Genesis, no, First Chronicles, chapter 1, verse. Let me see. Let's start at 24. Let me read it again, just to let you know, just to get it in there again. Genesis 10 and 17. The sons of Shem, Elam, and Ashur, and Arphaxad, and Lud, and Aram, and Uz, and Hul, and Geter, and Meshech. So it shows you that Aram was separate from Arphaxad. Okay, now I'm gonna go to the book of, the verse 24. Shem, Arphaxad, Shelah, Eber, because from Shelah came Eber, right? And then Peleg. And in those days, the Most High divided the nations upon the planet Earth so that they wouldn't be together no more, right? So it goes on. Peleg and Rehu, Sigur, Nahor, Terah. Abraham, the same as Abraham. Abram, the same as Abraham. The sons of Abram, Isaac, and Ishmael. The sons of Abraham, Isaac, and Ishmael. Okay, I'm gonna jump over that because those are going into the Ishmaelites. So I'm going to go to verse 34, which says, and Abraham begat Isaac, the son of Isaac. Yeah. And Abraham begat Isaac, the son of Isaac, the sons of Isaac, Esau, and Israel. So, what is Abraham actually? He comes from Eber. He didn't descend from the bloodline of Aram. He descended from the bloodline of Eber. You know what I'm saying? It's, like I said, if you check out the bloodline, you will see like, oh, okay. Right. Because, you might get the idea that he was actually Aram, even though we were family of them, because who were the ones that were actually associated with Aram, by Aram? His brother Nahor. You know what I'm saying? His brother Nahor was actually called that, But we came from those people, which is very easily mentioned, like easily named and numbered one after another in good order. It's mentioned in the book of 1 Chronicles chapter 1, right? So now they got that out the part. Now you have the Chaldeans, right? Which I also mentioned in the book of Genesis chapter 22, because you probably didn't notice it. Now let me read it again. Genesis 22, right? Now it says here that, let's see. Right, it says here that Genesis 22, and I'll start at 20, but the key point is in 22. Now Genesis 22 and 20. And it came to pass after these things that it was told Abraham, saying, Behold, Milcah, she had also borne children unto thy brother Nahor, Luz his firstborn, and Buz his brother, and Kemuel the father of Aram. Right? And Chesed, and Hazor, and Pildash, and Jilab, and Bethuel. Now, if you look up that word that word on Chesed, well, if you look up the word Chaldean actually in the Blue Letter Bible, it actually trickles down to them, to him. Now, it does say in the let me see. Let me look it up myself right here. It does say in the Blue Letter Bible. It says now you have three different words. You have Chaldea, and you have Chaldees, and the one of Abraham is in the Ur of the Chaldees, right? So I clicked on that one, which is Hebrew 3778, which says in Kashadayama, right? Which goes into basically Chesed. Now, if you scroll down into the definition, the Strong's definition, it goes into it, you know, the Chaldean, descendant from the Chaldeans. You know, you have astrologers and stuff like that, you know. And then in the Strong's definition, the help legend, it says, it actually goes, well, let me read it. Now it says here, excuse me, patronomically from Hebrew 3777. And I'm reading you now Hebrew 3778. So I click on Hebrew 3777. So it says kashat. It says kashat. And then the outline of the biblical usage, it said it means increase. It says the fourth son of Nahor, the nephew of Abraham, right? That's what I was just reading in the book of Genesis chapter 2, right? Now it says, now if you go to the Gesenius lexicon, right? The Gesenius lexicon says two things. You know, a lot of times when you read up in the Gesenius lexicon, you know, they give an estimation or say it may be this, or sometimes they even say that they don't know. Like for example, with the dragons and the dinosaurs, they know that one. You know what I'm saying? But there's a few others that I showed you that you know, they don't know, or they say it may be this or it may be that. But anyway, through the scriptures, yeah, all right, that's how we're gonna find out, because there's a lot of great examples. Now it says here in the Hebrew word Strong's H3777, which is the same word that is mentioned in Genesis 22 and 22 concerning one of the sons of Nahor, which one of the sons of Nahor was called Bethuel the Syrian, and his son was called Laban the Syrian, and his sister was called, of course, Rebecca. But it never says that Rebecca was a Syrian, you know. Anyway, but we know she is because your father is one, so you're one too. And also the book of Ruth, chapter 4, verse 11, shows you that it was Leah and Rachel were actually used to basically build the whole nation of Jacob, and also their two concubines, Bilhah, and I forgot the name of the other concubine, right? Because they don't know them 100%, but through the Spirit we know, because if you go to let me see, Ezekiel chapter 23 and 23. Let me read that real quick. Now Ezekiel 23 and 23, right? That's one. Now it says here, Ezekiel 23 and 23, it shows you what type of people were there in Mesopotamia, right? Now you have Ezekiel 23 and 23, which is, wait a minute, the pages is sticking. Ezekiel 23 and 23, it says, the Babylonians and all the Chaldeans, Pekod and Shoah and Koah, all the Syrians with them, all the Assyrians with them, right? And all of them desirable young men, captains and rulers, great lords and renowned, all of them riding upon horses. So, a lot of times, throughout the scriptures, you will see that the Babylonians are actually associated with the Chaldeans and stuff like that, but they're all from Mesopotamia, right? Okay, so now if you go to the book of Numbers, chapter 22, Numbers chapter 22, verse Numbers 22 and 5. Now it says here, he sent messages therefore unto Balaam the son of Behor to Pethor, which is where? In Mesopotamia. I'm going to read that later. I'm going to read it again. Now the book of Numbers chapter 22 verse 5. He sent messages therefore unto Balaam the son of Behor to Pethor. He sent those messages, right? Children of his people, to call him, saying, behold, there is a people come out of Egypt. Behold, they cover the face of the earth, and they abide over against me. And those were the children of Jacob. Those were the children of Israel, the so-called Negros, Latinos, and Indianos. Those were the ones that Balak, the Moabite, was mentioning when he sent forth of Balaam. And where did he send forth of Balaam from? Now you can read that in the book of Numbers chapter 23, verse 7. And he took up his parable. Now you can read the rest for yourself if you have the time, because it's verse 7. So, yeah. So it says here, Numbers chapter 23, verse 7. And he took up his parable and said, Balak, the king of Moab, had brought me from Aram, out of the mountains of the east, saying, come, curse me Jacob, and come, defy Israel. So it shows you that definitely that Balaam is telling you that he was pulled out of Aram in order for him to come over there and basically curse the nation of Jacob, which are the so-called Negros, Latinos, and Indianos in this day and age. Right, so now if you go from there to the book of Deuteronomy chapter 23, verse 4, it says here, Deuteronomy 23 and 4, it says, because they met you not with bread and with water in the way when you came forth out of Egypt, and because they hired against thee Balaam, the son of Beor of Pethor of Mesopotamia, to curse thee. So now it basically shows you that, okay, so who was living in Mesopotamia? You had Ashur, which is one of the sons of Shem, and you had Cush, because Cush is the one that actually built up Nineveh, you know. But the Ashurites were living in that region at that time, because Nineveh was actually Assyrian, right? But Cush built it up. So, but still you had them Cushites, because Babel, which is Shinar. Wait, let me read that. Now this is the book of Genesis chapter 10, right? So it says here, Genesis 10 and 8. And Cush begat Nimrod. He began to be a mighty one in the earth. He was a mighty hunter before the Lord. Wherefore it is said, even Nimrod, the mighty hunter before Yahweh. Verse 10. And the beginning of his kingdom was Babel, which is Babylon, right? And Eber and Akkad and Calneh in the land of Shinar. Now if you check up the land of Shinar, if you Google it, it's going to tell you the land of Shinar is Mesopotamia. So who was there also? Cush was there. Cush was there with his people hanging around Ashur. And let me read on. And out of that land went forth Ashur. Now Ashur wasn't even mentioned yet, because Ashur was later on mentioned in the chapter as being one of the sons of Shem, right? So he wasn't even mentioned there, but they jumped the gun basically. They talked about that Ashur went forth out of that place. But anyway, so it says here, and out of that land, what land? The land of Shinar. Let me read it again. Verse 10. And the beginning of his kingdom was Babel, and Eber, and Akkad, and Calneh, in the land of Shinar. So, like I said, the land of Shinar is Mesopotamia, which is Iraq. Modern day nowadays is Iraq, and stuff like that, right? So, verse 11, what sins? Oh yeah, you want to hear? You want to hear what I have to say? Okay, check this out. Yeah. Okay, good.
Absorb ourselves with other sins.
Yeah.
Well, we don't like to be filmed. So
No, the camera's on me. So if you stand here, you're gonna. If you stand here, you're gonna be on camera. It's the Bible.
Oh, I love the Bible.
which
Okay.
Bible?
The King James Bible.
King James.
Yeah.
Come in, we're getting our sins absorbed.
He's Muslim. He's not what.
Right. So let me read it for you. Now it says here, 1 John chapter 5, verse 16. If any man see his brother sin a sin which is not unto death, he shall ask, and he shall give him life for them that sin not unto death. There is a sin unto death. I do not say that he shall pray for it. Did you understand that? Let me read it again. Now this is the book of 1 John chapter 5, verse 16. If any
Okay, we'll do you then. We'll do your sins.
If it says here, if any man see his brother sin a sin which is not unto death,
Are you going very fast?
he's okay. Let me read it again. If any man see his brother sin a sin which is not unto death?
So a sin that's not death. So
Yeah,
all the other
no.
sins-
Yeah, no. If you see a person that sins a sin that is not unto death, for example, if he eats shrimp or pork,
Yeah.
that's not a sin unto death, right?
Okay.
Going on.
Right. Oh,
He shall ask
quite like shrimp.
and give him life for that sin, for that sin not unto death. Meaning, you're gonna give him the scriptures, which is life. The words of this book is life. Then you're gonna teach him and stuff like that, right?
Okay, cool. So you're like
And so,
helping him learn.
yes, so that he doesn't sin those sins anymore. Okay, going on. Now it says here, there is a sin unto death. I do not say that he shall pray for it. So what is that sin unto death that you should not pray for? Wait, let me get my phone because I have a lot of things in my hand. That sin unto death is this one. Now this is the book of Leviticus, chapter 20, verse 13. Now it says here, if a man also lie with mankind, as he lied with a woman, both of them have committed an abomination, they shall surely be put to death, their blood shall be upon them. If they do this sin, then yeah, it's not actually good for you to actually try to help this person. He knows about it. He knows that it's actually not good to do. If he changes,
So
because
is that gay people?
yes,
So
homosexuality,
basically, homosexuality, they need to die.
pedophilia is also mentioned in the Bible that is a sin, which is again it's 1 Corinthians chapter 7.
Okay.
But
I think I better go, but that's an important message.
yeah.
Luckily, we're straight. We're just
Oh, okay.
watch the show like you.
I'm not here to watch the show, my man. I'm here to actually make
Watch
videos.
the chaos.
Well, it is chaos,
And
yeah.
help people. through
I'll
the
see the chaos. I'm not watching
We're
it.
going to help people through the chaos.
It would be a good thing. Yeah.
Thank you for your time.
Yes,
Appreciate the
yes,
insight.
yeah. Yes. Right. Right. Now it says here. Right. Going back to where I was. Now it says. Where was I again? I forgot where I was. Genesis. Oh yeah. Now it shows you here Genesis chapter 10 verse 10. And the beginning of his kingdom was Babel and Erech and Akkad and Calneh in the land of Shinar, which that land of Shinar is Mesopotamia. You can Google that, you're gonna find it out, right? Because I ain't got my stuff with me right now. So, but like I said, I did a video about it, and I showed things there. But anyway, and verse 11, and out of that land, which is the land of Mesopotamia, which is the land of Shinar, went forth ashore and builded Nineveh. So, in the Bible Hub, right? Oh yeah, I wanted to tell him like there is a scripture that says some of the Sodomites actually turned back to Yahweh Bashem Yahshua. Those were Israelites which were Sodomites in the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 6. But yeah, I was thinking about it at that time, but he had to go anyway. So I'm gonna tell you 1 Corinthians chapter 6 verse 9 on down. It shows you that some of the Israelites actually did these things, and then later on they turned around. You know, don't worry. Later on they turned around. Now it says here, let me read them all to show you that they was all in together there. But wait, but we know 100% that Aram was there because it shows you that Numbers chapter 22 and Numbers chapter 23. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, Jeremiah chapter 50 verse 1. It says, the word of Yahweh, the word that Yahweh spake against Babylon and against the land of the Chaldeans by Jeremiah the prophet. Declare ye among the nations and publish and set up a standard. Publish and conceal not. That's why we're telling all. We're not hiding anything. You know what I'm saying? We're telling everybody and everything that want to listen, whether they hear or forbear. Go into the midst of the nations and basically prophesy unto the wind. It doesn't matter if they're listening. They walking by, they kind of know, they hear. So it doesn't matter. If they're interested, then their spirit might get sparked. And if not, then hey, just keep on doing your thing in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, right? So going on, now it says here, Jeremiah chapter 50 verse 2, declare ye among the nations and publish, which is what we're doing. started with the elder apostles on down at Great Millstone in America, right? And set up a standard, publish and conceal not. Say Babylon is taken, Bel is confounded. Now Bel goes basically into Baal. Now if you think about it, if you read it up on history, the Mesopotamians, the Babylonians, the people of the land of Shinar, you know, those people over there, they had over 3,000 gods, man. There was every day, man, they had so many gods, it was ridiculous. And the Ishmaelites were also hanging around and taking off gods off of them and stuff like that, because there was a great nation, and those people were over there. They were a great nation, and the Ishmaelites saw the entities and deities, and they wanted to do these things too. Guess what? The Israelites saw the same thing, and they did the same thing too, because the Most High even said, according to thy cities, Judah, are thy gods. So our people started to worship their gods too, according to the cities. According it says here, Jeremiah chapter 11, verse 13, right? So it says here, for according to the number of thy cities were thy gods, O Judah, and according to the number of the streets of Jerusalem have ye set up altars to that shameful thing, even the altar to burn incense unto Baal. So that's what our people used to be doing. And who did they learn it from? They learned it from the heathen nations round about us, which the Most High through Moses told us, don't do it. Also through Joshua, after Moses died, he said, don't do it. And they still went and did it, you know. But not recently after when Joshua died, they did it later on, you know. But anyway, so that's that part. And then going back to over here, Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 2. And let me read it again. Declare ye among the nations and publish and set up a standard. Publish and conceal not. Say Babylon is taken, and it's taken, but it's not taken right now, but it's going to be. Modern day Babylon is America, and of course Europe. Bel is confounded. Satan is going to be confounded. All your gods and stuff like that. The Most High is going to smack them out your hands, man. Micah chapter 5 tells you that. He will smack out of their hands the idols of the heathen nations, man. Even the idols of Jacob. In Joshua 24, Joshua is telling you, like, yo, put you Israelites, put aside your idols that you have from the people round about. Because even then they was doing stupid stuff, man. How much more now, when we don't even know what color our people are? Calling yourself black is actually being void of judgment, because your hair is black. Well, mine's white, actually. But your hair is black. We're not black. We're the same color as the earth that we were formed from. So we're the earthlings. You got to understand that. We're the same color as the earth we are formed from. Don't let another nation name you. We are the nation of Jacob, man. You know what I'm saying? The people that came out of Jacob. And we were separated from the other heathen nations round about. We were separated from the brother of Nahor. But it tells you in the book of Deuteronomy chapter 23 that abhor not a Syrian. You know what I'm saying? Abhor not a Syrian, because with them we actually made the children. You know what I'm saying? Leah, Rachel, and the two concubines that they had, and Rebecca, you know, the Syrian, from Laban the Syrian. So basically we made it with them. So therefore they are actually kind of family. Even Midian. But the Heavenly Father did separate us, like the bloodline. He separated the bloodline from Aram, and he separated the bloodline from, you know, Nahor and stuff like that. And he separated the bloodline from Ishmael and Midian. You know, he separated all those bloodlines and stuff like that. Even though we made children with Midian, even Eber, the Kenite, Jael was his wife. You know, so we gave our daughters unto them, and we took their daughters unto our sons, for our sons, which is the thing that Moses said and Joshua said we shouldn't be doing. We still did it, and look at us now, where we at. But Yahweh Tazah is all good, because everything was prophesied from the beginning anyway. 2nd Ezra explains that to you. Why has Yahweh hardened our hearts? And also Isaiah 63. Why did he just leave us in this error that we didn't fear him enough in order for us to actually listen to his commandments, when he told us, like, don't be mingling with them? And still we did. But that was all prophesied already. So it's not a big deal, you know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, but we weren't supposed to do it. That's the point. Right, now Jeremiah chapter, Baal is confounded. Merodach is broken in pieces. Her idols are confounded. Her images are broken in pieces. Right? Because in the book of Isaiah chapter 65, it also shows you that the multitude of the idols that our people were worshiping is mentioned there too. And off of that scripture, I actually got the fact that you had the Mesopotamians had over like 3,000 idols, but 2,000 are actually over 2,000 are named, even though they had more than 3,000, right? Because it says right here, Isaiah chapter 65, verse, let me see, 11. But ye are they that forsake Yahweh, that forget my holy mountain, that prepare a table for that troop. And how do you prepare a table? Well, if you go to the book of Proverbs chapter 9, you will see that we was preparing a table in order to, put the holy meals and stuff like that for the Heavenly Father, and basically a table of worship, right? Just like in the tabernacle, you had the table of the ark with the showbread and all those type of things, with the vessels of gold and all that type of things, right? Right. So they prepare a table for that troop, and the troop is multiple of people, right? And what for troop is it talking about? These are talking about the deities of the land of Shinar, of Mesopotamia. Because like I said, they had over 3,000 gods over there, and our people started to actually follow after those 3,000 gods and stuff like that, right? And that furnished the drink offering unto that number. Just like that scripture that I just read, that according to thy cities are thy idols, so Judah. That's you can connect that with this one. Because if you go into the Hebrew word of troop, you will see that it's talking about the multitude, thousands of entities that the Mesopotamians had at that time. And who was in Mesopotamia? Ashur, Aram, and Cush from Babylon. As he set up that place over there. But later on, you did have wars where the Chaldeans actually took over Babylon. And then they ruled in their stead. Right? So it's a whole historical type thing. But anyway, going back to the book of Genesis chapter 10 verse 11, out of that land went forth Ashur and builded Nineveh, and the city Rehoboth, and Calah, and Rezin between Nineveh and Calah. The same is a great city. So it shows you that Cush was there, and he went and he dwelled in that region. And that region is the region beyond the flood, right? Because if you go to the book of Joshua, chapter 24, Joshua chapter 24, right, is going to explain something to you. Now, I didn't put that in the video. I already made a video, by the way. I just didn't load it up. I was looking up the stuff and stuff like that, looking up extra scriptures, and I found them. But sometimes things go over your head while you're reading, and sometimes you just forget, and sometimes you don't see it. So it's three reasons for me, for example, and that after production that I will add on more scriptures and stuff like that. Like I said, sometimes it flies over my head. I need to read it more. The more I read the same chapter, the more I'll be like, hey, I didn't notice that, right? So sometimes it flies over my head. Sometimes I didn't see it. I really didn't see it. Sometimes I wasn't thinking, that too. And sometimes flies over my head. I didn't see it. Or I forgot. Right. Now this is the book of what did I say again? I said something that I will. Oh yeah, Joshua. Joshua chapter. Let me read the Ruth real quick. Ruth chapter 4 verse 11. And all the people that were in the gate, the elders said, "We are witnesses. Yahweh make the woman, which was Ruth, that is come into thine house, like Rachel and like Leah, which two did build the house of Israel." Those were the vessels that we used to build actually the house of Jacob, the house of Israel. And those were the 12 sons. We're actually 10. 11. We're 11. And the two others were actually the two sons of Joseph. Those were his grandsons. So the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel is actually 13. if you count Levi as a tribe, which at that time wasn't, because they was living in the midst of all the 12 tribes. And also, Manasseh and Ephraim were actually the grandsons of Jacob. Right. But anyway, there's a lot of people don't really think about that. I'm not talking, look, I'm not talking to the new brothers and stuff. I mean the old brothers and stuff like that. I'm talking to the younger brothers, because they're the ones that actually don't know this truth, and therefore it is a beautiful thing to actually go and give them this history and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Then they can understand where everything is really coming from. And of course, I'm going in the prophecies. I'm always going in the prophecies. Lord, what in Yahweh is up. I'm always going into the prophecies. Yeah, anyway, I'm going into the prophecies right now concerning, well, not now yet, after this explanation all. Now it says here, and for the rest of roof floor in 11, and do thou worthily in Ephrath, and be famous in Bethlehem. Right, so now I'm going to go to the book of Joshua, chapter 4. Joshua 24, and I'm going to read verse 1 and 2, right? Now it says here, and Joshua gathered all the tribes of Israel to Shechem, and called for the elders of Israel, and for their heads, and for their judges, and for their officers. And they prepared themselves before the Heavenly Father, because we all gathered, all 12 tribes, we gathered in the land of Shechem, which is basically in the land of Ephraim, between Ephraim and Manasseh. So going on, verse 2, Joshua 24 and 2. I haven't eaten the whole day. I'm not hungry or something like that, but I was just thinking about it. Damn. I was thinking about my water. Only drank water today, but it's all good. I'm not fasting, my man, or else I wouldn't even say it. But anyway, I was just thinking about it. Anyway, so it says here, Joshua 24 and 2. And Joshua said unto all the people, thus saith Yahweh, the power of Israel, your fathers dwelt on the other side of the flood in old time, right? Even Terah, the father of Abraham, and the father of Nahor. Now it says here Nahor, which is with CH, Nahor, but it's actually Nahor. Like I said, I often tell you that, look, what they're doing is they're actually on purpose, sometimes changing the names, even in the Hebrew. They change the names. For example, not just Idumea and Edom, and also Mizraim and Egypt, and it's the same thing, because they don't want to make you know that it's actually one of the sons of Ham, which is Mizraim, and then the other one was Ethiopia and Cush, which is the same thing, but they want to push the Ethiopia thing so that you're kind of distanced. You're in your mind, you will be distanced from the fact that it is a Cushite. That's why they did that. And let me get it before I forget what I'm looking for. And also Syria and Aram. Syria and Aram is the same word. And also Ashur and Assyria is the same word. So they do what they want, because it will bring a lot of confusion. But then again, the Most High is not the author of confusion, but what he does is, he said that in the book of Job chapter 12 verse 16, he says, the deceiver and the deceived are his. So basically, if you're deceived, the Most High did that. And if you are a deceiver yourself, the Most High created you in order to deceive them, but he's going to destroy both of you. Just like he did with the Egyptians. He's the one that allowed all these things, because he already prophesied into Abraham. He said, know, Genesis 15 and 16 or something, know of a surety that thy seed shall be in captivity for 400 years, but afterward I will punish that nation for what they did, and your seed shall come out with great substances. Genesis 15. So even though he uses the heathen nations to do stuff, he's still going to punish them. So yeah, don't worry about that. Now 1 Kings chapter 10 verse 15 and Jeremiah 35, and I think it was 6. 1 Kings 10 and 15. Was it that? Was it that? Oh no, 2 Kings. 2 Kings chapter 10 verse 15. And when he was departed thence, he lighted on Jehonadab, the son of Rechab. So here it's written Jehonadab, right? But if you go to Jeremiah chapter 35 verse 6, it says, but they said, we will drink no wine, for Jonadab So it doesn't say Jehonadab. It says Jonadab, the son of Rechab, our father commanded us, saying, Ye shall drink no wine, neither ye nor your sons after, forever. Nor your sons forever. Right. So why am I bringing this point up? I'm bringing up the point is that even in the Hebrew, not just Greek and Hebrew, they changed the names. They changed the words. Because if you go to the Hebrew, it's actually a different word. But if you go to the definition of the Hebrew word, it actually tells you that it's the same thing. Which is funny as hell. I'm going to show you. Or you can look it up for yourself, because if I show you right now, it's going to be backwards and stuff like that. But anyway, I gave you the two scriptures, and the two scriptures were 2 Kings chapter 10 verse 15. Then you look up the word in that. You look up the word Jehonadab, right? And then you go to Jeremiah 35 and 6, and you look up that word Jonadab. You will see that it's two different words in the English and two different words in the Hebrew. But when you go to the Strong's definition of the Blue Letter Bible, you will see that's the same thing. And they're telling you that's the same thing. But they still did it. But you have to understand, back in the days, we didn't have this knowledge. We didn't have the Blue Letter Bible. And if you wanted to get facts like this, you had to go to the library, and then you had to pick between like 1,500 books and stuff like that, and you still wouldn't 100% know which book is that word in. But now, through the power of Yahweh Shem Yahshua, He made everything faster, because now all we have to do is click, and you find the word, and you can break it down. So it's much easier now than it was. That's why you gotta respect the elder apostles, man, because they literally had to go to the libraries and stuff like that and do a lot of work. That's a lot of physical work, man. The study of many books make you weary. Now I click and I can find myself 10, 20 books, and I can do find search on a page, and I can find stuff, man. I don't have to read the whole book. I find the section or the paragraph that I want, and then I read that, you know what I'm saying, and I marinate it. Not marinate. I showed that the scriptures is the proof, is the truth, by proving it outside of the scriptures, toward the scriptures and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? You could say marinate, but I don't want to say that. But that is kind of, no book shall be his mate. Yeah, but still, outside of the scriptures, you have biblical testimonies and stuff like that, you know, that testify of the scriptures, right? That testify of the scriptures, right? So you had that part. So now going back to Joshua 24 and 2. And Joshua said unto all the people, Thus saith Yahweh, the power of Israel, your fathers dwelt on the other side, on the other side of the flood in old time. Even Terah, the father of Abraham, and the father of Nahor, and they served other gods, right? So in that region over there, our people were serving other gods and stuff like that. Starting with Terah and Nahor, which is his son. Not talking about his father, you know, his son, because his son was not named Nahor, and his father was named Nahor. But they was in that region where I just mentioned that if you Google this, how many deities or how many gods did Mesopotamia have? You have to understand there was a lot of people living in there, just like a metropolis over here. You have to also understand, you got Babylon, the Tower of Babel. What did they want to do? They want to grab everybody together. Esau has that same concept in the book of 1 Maccabees chapter 1. Also in the book of 1 Maccabees chapter 6 and chapter 7. He was doing the same thing. No, sorry. Repeat it. 1 Maccabees chapter 1, starting at verse 41. And then the other one was 2 Maccabees chapter 6 and chapter 7. So let me repeat it again. 1 Maccabees chapter 1, and also 2 Maccabees chapter 6 and chapter 7. Moreover in 6 and 7, just read those two. You will see that he was trying to bring everybody together, and all the heathen nations and stuff like that had to basically follow their laws, which was Satanism. And the heathens agreed, but the Israelites, they was like, no, man, we're gonna die. But a lot of them actually, they went along with it, and a lot of them, they also was like, nah, I ain't going down with that. So I'd rather die. You know what I'm saying? So they did that, right? But it was that's why they had all these different people, and they had all their different gods bundled up in one, and they was all worshiping it like a bunch of beasts, you know, a heap fest and stuff like that, right? So what was it talking about? So I just showed you that you had Aram, you had Balaam coming from Aram, which is Mesopotamia. No, sorry, let me say it better. We had Balaam coming from Mesopotamia, and he said like he comes from Aram, and yeah. And who are the people that were called Aram? Well, you had the people of Aram themselves associated with the son of Shem. But then you had, of course, Nahor. He was also his children, like Bethuel came from Nahor, and Bethuel begat. Let me read it again. Bethuel begat Rebekah and Laban. Yeah, that's it. But Rebekah and Laban came out of Bethuel, but Bethuel was called a Syrian, and Laban was called a Syrian, Bethuel was called a Syrian, and of course, Rebecca is a Syrian. She wasn't called that one, but anyway, Leah and Rachel, they was the daughter of Laban the Syrian. So therefore, what do you think do you think they're Hamites? Anyway, but are they actually from one of the sons of Aram? Like, let me read it again. Genesis chapter 10, verse. No, there wasn't. That's the answer. But anyway, check this out. Genesis chapter 10, verse. "22. And the children of Shem, Elam, and Ashur, which is Assyria, and Arphaxad, and Lut, and Aram, which is Syria." Yeah. Nahor was not from this Aram, but later on, just like how you have in the book of Joshua chapter 8, you will have the Midianites joined on together as the Ishmaelites. But we know that those are two different nations, because Midian, his brother was Ishmael. He's not an Ishmaelite, but he was associated unto them as how the Most High basically does things. For example, you have that whole region of wait, let me before I jump. Wait. For example, you have okay, check this out. You have Jacob and Esau, right? They're twin brothers. They have the same mother. They have the same father, the same mother. How come they're two different nations? Because the Most High set it up like that, right? Well, that's the same thing with let me see, with shit. I just had them. This there's the same thing as what? I can't believe I just lost it. There's the same. What? Maybe because I'm being distracted or something like that. But it's not 100% that. I'm not 100% distracted. There's a lot of people, but because wow. Anyway, the point is that the Most High separated the nations according to the book of Deuteronomy chapter 32 verse 8. He divided the nations and separated the sons of Adam in a particular manner to where, for example, Jacob and Esau are not the same nation, even though they're literally from the same father and mother. Well, and then we are associated with the Chaldeans, for example, because we also came from the Chaldeans. That's in the book of Judith, chapter 7, verse Judith chapter 5, verse 7, where it explains unto you. Wait, let me read that. No, it says it. Judith. I hope you understand what I wanted to say. Anyway, Judith chapter 5 verse 7. "This people are descendant from the Chaldeans, and they sojourned heretofore," which is before this, heretofore, "in Mesopotamia, because they would not follow the gods of their fathers, which were in the land of the Chaldeans." And I just read that in the book of Joshua, so I'm going to read it in the book of Joshua again. Joshua chapter 24 verse 2. "And Joshua said unto all the people, Thus saith Yahweh, the power of Israel, your fathers dwelt on the other side of the flood in old time, even Terah, the father of Abraham, and the father of Nahor, and they served other gods. And then in the book of Genesis chapter 11 verse 31, the Lord told them like, yo, go from there to Haran, and from Haran go to Canaan. But when they went to Haran, Abraham, let me read it. Genesis 11:31. And Terah took Abraham his son, and Lot the son of Haran his son's son, and Sarai his daughter-in-law, his son Abraham's wife, and they went forth with them from Ur of the Chaldees to go into the land of Canaan, and they came unto Haran and dwelt there. Right. And then in the next chapter, Genesis 12:1, now the Lord had said unto Abraham, get thee out of thy country, and from thy kindred, and from thy father's house, unto a land that I will show thee. But in verse 31, he said it. Maybe it jumped over your head. Let me read it again. Genesis 11:31. And Terah took Abraham his son, and Lot the son of Haran his son's son, which is his nephew. Let me see. And Sarai his daughter-in-law, his son Abraham's wife. And here it comes. And they went forth with them from Ur of the Chaldees to go into the land of Canaan. And they came unto Haran and dwelt there. So they was actually going on a journey toward the land of Canaan, but they stopped at Haran and they dwelt there for a little season. And then afterwards, the Most High came into his dream, the next chapter, and it doesn't say dream. He said the Most High told him. It says the Most High told him. So either by dream, because Moses is the only one that the Most High really kind of talked without no riddles and stuff like that. That says in the book of Numbers chapter 12. Numbers chapter 12. Yeah. So he told them like, okay, get you from here and go to the land of Canaan. He told them in Genesis 12, go away from your father. I don't want you hanging around them, because they don't like you anyway, because they're worshiping other gods and you coming up with this one. Yeah. And if you read the book of Genesis, you will see that Laban also knew that Jacob had another god. You know what I'm saying? Jacob had another god and he knew about it. And basically, you know, he talked about it and stuff like that, you know. In the book of Genesis, wait. Genesis 31. I'm going to read a part of it. Genesis 31 and 22. Now it says here, I started 24. And the power, Yahweh, Genesis 31 and 24. It says, and the power Yahweh came to Laban the Syrian in a dream by night and said unto him, take heed that thou speak not to Jacob either good or bad. So he knew about it. And then later on, you know, but if you read the chapter, you will see that he knows about the God of Jacob, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, but he didn't follow after that one. He followed after the gods of his fathers, which were the ones that are mentioned in the book of Joshua chapter 24, you know, and also in the book of Judah chapter 5. So let me go back to that. Judah chapter 5 verse 7. And they sojourned hereafter in Mesopotamia, because they would not follow the gods of their fathers, which were in the land of Chaldea. For they left the way of their ancestors. For they left the way of their ancestors and worshipped the power of heaven, the power whom they knew. So they cast them out from the face of their gods. But they cast them out from the face of their gods, right? The gods of our forefathers, basically. What Terah and Nahor, the father of Terah, and also Nahor, the son of Terah, was actually worshiping. So it says, so they cast them out from the face of their gods, and they fled into Mesopotamia and sojourned there many days. Then their power, Yahweh, commanded them to depart from the place where they sojourned, which is what I just read, right? Let me read it again. Judah 5 and 9. Then their power, Yahweh, commanded them to depart from the place where they sojourned and to go into the land of Canaan, where they dwelt, and were increased with gold and silver, and with very much cattle. Now that jumps all over the place, because first it jumps to Abraham. He was the one, but they say we, but it's all good. It's the same people. We know what we're talking about, what it's talking about. So Abraham was the one that was, he basically fled from the face of his father into the land of Canaan, and he dwelt there, and then went into Egypt later on, and that was then there for Jacob, and then he went there and lived there and beget gold and silver there. That is in the book of Exodus chapter 1. So you see how it kind of jumps around, you know what I'm saying, from title to title. So it goes all in different books and stuff like that, but it's actually you know, it's traceable, because we can still find it. Now the Most High is gonna reveal it unto his servants, the prophets. So right, so okay, that's done with. Now going to the other, right? So it says that, yeah, so our people had these other gods over there, and I'm saying, so the Most High basically, oh yeah, that's what I was also going into. Let me read it again. Joshua 24 and 2. And Joshua said unto all the people, thus saith Yahweh, the power of Israel, your fathers dwelt on the other side of the flood in old time. Now you might think, I did go into, in the other video that I did go into the flood concerning, and this is why I went into the flood of the book of Wisdom of Solomon chapter 14 and 12. Let me get that real quick. Wisdom of Solomon chapter 14 verse 12, right? Now it says here, for the devising of idols was the beginning of spiritual fornication, and the invention of them the corruption of life. But let me go a little bit up. Now it says here, verse 6. Now it's Wisdom of Solomon chapter 14 verse 6. So it says, for in the old time also, when the proud giants perished, the hope of the world governed by thy hand escaped in a weak vessel, and left to all ages a seed of generations. So what does it say? Let me read it again. Wisdom of Solomon chapter 14 verse 6. For an old time also, when the proud giants perished, that was in the time before the flood. And if you read the whole chapter, you will see that. So they perished, right? And then it says here, the hope of the world governed by thy hand escaped in a weak vessel. That's Noah, because he escaped in a weak vessel, because that vessel isn't strong. The Most High is the one that set everything up, and the Most High is the one that actually allowed him to survive all that whole ordeal going on by his hand, and left to all ages a seed of generation. And that's exactly what Noah did in the book of 2 chapter 6 verse 54 on down. It shows you that all people came from Adam, even the chosen line, which I was just talking about, you know, the separations and stuff like that. Yeah, we were separated from Laban the Syrian. You know, he was associated unto those people, just like how Midian is associated unto the Ishmaelites. But literally, are they Ishmaelites? No, they're Midianites, but they're associated unto the Ishmaelites. Let me read that here for you real quick before you ask yourself, like, so where did you read that? That if you go to the book of Joshua, chapter 8, verse, let me see. No, it's Judges. Sorry. It's good that I looked it up. Always coming to, yeah, it's Judges. Now it says here, whoa. I often make mistakes with that. I often do. Not the first time. But it's good that I looked it up. Judges chapter 8 verse 1. And the men of Ephraim said unto him, why hast thou served us thus, that thou callest us not? And when thou wentest to fight with the Midianites, and they did chide with them sharply. Verse 3. I'll jump to verse 3. Yahweh had delivered into your hands the princes of Midian, Oreb and Zeb. And what was I able to do in comparison to you? Then their anger was abated toward him when he had said that, right? So then I'm gonna jump to verse 22. So Judges 8 and 22. So it says here, now it says, then the men of Israel said unto Gibeon, rule thou over us, both thou and thy son, and thy son's sons also, for thou hast delivered us from the hand of Midian. Now if I jump, and I'm going to read until 24, because I just read 22. Now verse 23 says, and Gibeon said unto them, I will not rule over you, neither shall my son rule over you. Yahweh shall rule over you. And Gibeon said unto them, I will desire a request of you, that ye would give me every man the earrings of his prayer. For they had golden earrings, because they were Ishmaelites. Like I said, they was associated unto the Ishmaelites, just like how you have that whole region over there basically was called Aram. But not all of them was Aram. You had different sons over there, you know. But for example, the Assyrians, what did they speak? They actually spoke Aram. They spoke Syrian, right? Because it says it right here. Speak unto thy servants. And we understood that language. Yeah. Isaiah chapter 36. Wait, let me get it in the other one. Isaiah 36. Hey, the time flies, man. Damn. Time flies, man. Time flies when you're high, man. Nah. Or when you're not paying attention. But anyway, so it says that so, right. Now, if you read this whole chapter, it shows you that. Wait, let me read it for you. Now, on Isaiah chapter 36, verse 1, it's also mentioned in, I think it was it's somewhere in Chronicles. But anyway, I'm going to go to the chapter itself. It says here, Isaiah chapter 36, verse 1, Ishmaelites. Isaiah chapter 36, verse 1, it says here, now it came to pass in the 14th year of King Hezekiah that Sennacherib, king of Assyria, came up against all the defense cities of Judah and took it. So it says here, king of Assyria came up against us, right? So verse 11. Then Eliamek and Jebna and Joan. Then said Eliamek and Jebna and Joan unto Rabshakeh. Now Rabshakeh is actually a title. It's basically an arms bearer, you know, a person of war. And he was a, if you read the scriptures, you kind of get the idea that he was a sellout, selling out unto the Assyrians because of their power that they had. So this is what the Judites said, right? If you read the whole chapter, you will see that these three are Judites working under Hezekiah. Speak, I pray thee, unto thy servants in the Syrian language. So what did they tell Rabshakeh? They told them, speak unto us in the Syrian language, right? Let me read it again. Speak, I pray thee, unto thy servants in the Syrian language, for we understood it. So here you have these Judites. Like I said, if you read the whole chapter, Isaiah chapter 36, it's also mentioned somewhere in Chronicles. Leave it. You can find it out for yourself. It's somewhere in Chronicles written also, right? So it says here that, so what did these three Judites do? We understood Syrian language. We understood Aram. And I tell you that he was actually for Assyria, but he spoke Syrian himself. Basically, let me put it in the scriptural tongue. The scriptural names, not the tongue. The scriptural names is he spoke Aram, but he was actually from Ashur, under the king of Ashur. You know what I'm saying? But he was speaking Aram. Right. Now it says here, Isaiah chapter 36, verse 11, the rest of it. Speak, I pray thee, unto thy servants in the Syrian language, for we understood it, and speak not unto us in the Jews' language, in the ears of the people that are on the wall. So they didn't want them to actually speak. It's not a Jew language. It's actually Israelite, Paleo Hebrew, you could say. Why? Because Yahweh wasn't the only one that was speaking the language. All 12 tribes was actually speaking the same language. Now we did have different accents and stuff like that. We did have different accents, and you can find that out in the book of Judges 12, where it's spelled Sibolet and Shibolet. You know, Ephraim, no Manasseh. Yeah, Ephraim could not pronounce until this day. Well, they can't pronounce the letter H or something like that. You know, they can't. But they can, but it's kind of hard. You know, you should listen to them. If I hear it and I know, like, okay, he's one of the Latinos, he can't speak that letter. He come with the thing, something like that, man. But anyway, you have the Mexicanos have the same thing too, you know. But they got that from Esau. But still, it's actually still prophetic, because they don't say Jesus, they say Jesus. You know, because they speak the J as the H, because it didn't exist at that time in the Roman language, and that's what they speak until this day. Latin, it's Roman language. But anyway, so it says here, but Rakesh, what's his name? Like I said, that's not a name, by the way, that's a title. It's but Rabshakeh said, had my master sent me to thy master and to thee to speak these words. Wait, let me color it. And to thee to speak these words, had he not sent me to the men that sit upon the wall, that they may eat their own dung and drink their own piss with you? So basically, he said, man, why you want to let me? Why you want me to speak in the Syrian, in the Aram language? Did my master send me to come and basically be a butt buddy or something like that? Or don't you know? Or did he send me to come and tell you to eat your own shit and your own piss? That's what he came to tell you. Verse 13. Then Rabshakeh stood and cried with a loud voice in the Jews' language, and said, hear ye the words of the great king, the king of Assyria. So guess what? He was from Assyria, right? But he could speak, he was from Ashur, but he can speak Aram, because that's what they were speaking over there. Now, until this day, you have this word, you have this thing. You have people from that region over there. You have Arameans, Arameans, but you also have Aramaic, and you have Armenians, Arameans, something like that. You know, Armenians and Aramaic. If I write it down, I know the difference. The one is spelled Aramaic, Arameans, and the other one is an Armenians. It's a difference. But Armenians are talking a dialect of Arameans, right? They're talking a dialect of that. So clearly they're showing you, like, oh, so it's still the same way until this day. Y'all still speaking Aram. You know what I'm saying? Going basically in Syria, being in that region of Ashur, which is kind of crazy, but everything clicks together. You know what I'm saying? Yahweh. But anyway, so yeah. So the point is that we could understand them, you know, and that's why, for example, they were saying that they are saying that Yahushai spake Aram. He could understand it. I mean, Abraham spoke it to a certain degree, but we came and the Most High basically separated unto the nations and gave us our heritage, and then we kept it for our own. You know what I'm saying? So we had our own language, loose from them. But in the time of Laban had his own language, but we was talking to each other, and that's why, for example, Laban called it another name when he called something. Let me get that. Laban called it. Laban called it, Genesis 31 and 47. And Laban called it Jagar Sahadutha, but Jacob called it Galid. Now, they could speak the same language, but he, like I said, he comes from Syrian, Aram. So he spoke that, right? But we could understand it. It shows you that in the book of Isaiah chapter 36. We could understand them, but we wasn't talking that. We was talking two different languages. Because it shows you that in the book of Isaiah chapter 36. Let me get it again. Because even they said it. Because they said, Now here is Isaiah 36 again, which is Isaiah 36 and 11. Then said Eliamek and Shebna and Joah unto Rabshakeh, which is the officer of the Syrian things. Speak, I pray thee, unto thy servants in the Syrian language, for we understand it, and speak not unto us in the Jews' language, in the ears of the people that are on the table, that are on the wall. So we clearly could speak two languages, and it was two different languages, basically. You know what I'm saying? And that is kind of what we had concerning those people. That's why the Most High said in the book of Deuteronomy 23, "Thou shalt not abhor a Syrian, for he is thy brother." And that word is not Edom, right? Anyway, so that's that. And also I had verse 9. So Joshua chapter, Joshua chapter 24 verse 3. And I took your father Abraham from the other side of the flood, and led him through all the land of Canaan, and multiplied his seed, and gave him Isaac. Now that word flood is the same word that is actually mentioned in the book of Genesis chapter 2 verse 14. Let me get that real quick. Now it says here, yeah man, the wind is doing good now. Y'all wrote this up? Wind is doing good, brother man. Wind is doing pretty good today. Yeah, man. We got that breeze coming through. Now this is Genesis chapter 2 verse 10. Yeah, Genesis 2:10. And the river went out of Eden that watered the garden, and from hence it was parted, and became into 4 heads. So that region, that river was called the flood. If you look up that word, it's the same thing as the book of Genesis chapter 2 verse 10, which now Genesis chapter 2 verse 14, it says here, and the name of the third river is Hedika. That is it which goeth toward the east of Assyria. And the fourth river is Euphrates. Right, so but it's actually one river that's split into 4, and that's what it was talking about, because it was in that region of Assyria, right? Which is where our forefathers were actually dwelling in the beginning, because they are the ones that actually went there, and they was hanging around there and stuff like that. And that's what he was talking about when he was mentioning it in the book of Joshua chapter 24 verse 2. He was mentioning that Joshua 24 and 2, and Joshua said unto all the people, all the Israelites, thus saith Yahweh, the power of Israel, your fathers dwelt on the other side of the flood in old time, even Terah, the father of Abraham, and the father of Nahor, and they served other gods. Right, so that other side of the flood is actually talking about the Euphrates River. Well, they're all connected to one another. It's just one big river, split it up in 4, and there is basically the cradle of civilization itself, the baby of civilization itself, because there everything really started to blossom. You know what I'm saying? The kingdoms and stuff like that came out of there. You know, everybody came out of there basically to a certain degree, and then later on we went into the land of Canaan. And if you look about the Garden of Eden itself, within Eden is the earth, which means paradise. There's wickedness here, and there's goodness, righteousness here. If you check out that region, you will see that whole region, Ethiopia, is mentioned. So the land of Cush is actually mentioned as eastward of the Garden of Eden. You know what I'm saying? So in the midst of the Euphrates region, and between the Euphrates region and Cush, you basically had our people was supposed to be there in the land of Israel, but Mesopotamia is what is called the cradle of civilization, you know, with cities and all those type of things. And where Cush and so dwelled, and Mizraim and all those places, that was then eastward of the Garden of Eden, right? Because if you read the scriptures, it's going to explain to you. Okay, so now that was a long time. I didn't even read a lot, but still sorry about that. Now I'm gonna go to the book of Jeremiah chapter 50, And I'm going to read that whole chapter. Because we in that time right now, right? Now it says here, Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 1, subtitled, the prophecy against Babylon. The word of the Lord, the word that Yahweh spake against Babylon and against the land of the Chaldeans by Jeremiah the prophet. Verse 2, declare ye among the nations and publish and set up a standard, publish and conceal not. Say, Babylon is taken, Bel is confounded. Merodach is broken in pieces, her idols are confounded, her images are broken in pieces. That's what's happening right now, man. All the images is actually being broken into pieces and stuff like that. And the Most High is making sure that all the heathen nations, their gods are fallen. That's why everything is becoming more expensive. A lot of people are complaining now, you know what I'm saying? The world is not so sweet for them as it used to be back in the days. Now that basically it's falling, right? Bit by bit. But even though everybody is partying and bullshitting, just like how the Most High said, then when the flood came, they shall be partying and given into marriage until the day cometh that everything is going to fall down and stuff like that. So until that day, everybody is still going to be having a ball. They're going to still have fun and stuff like that. But they're going to be married. They're going to give out the marriages and stuff like that. You know, it was something. And they're going to how you call that thing? They're going to be feasting until the Most High shut that door. Put up, and then in that time rain came. But in this time, it's going to be raining down bullets basically, and those bullets are going to be arrows, and those arrows are going to be on nuclear missiles. So Jeremiah 50:3, for out of the north there cometh up a nation against her, which shall make her land desolate, and none shall dwell therein. They shall remove, they shall depart, both man and beast. That's why I often say, like, even the animals of Esau are going to be put to death. Because it says it right here. Why? There's a lot of animals that it's basically animal cruelty. What? Because they mix in a lot of breeds and stuff like that. All these animals have a lot of bone problems. They have a lot of brain problems and stuff like that. Eye problems, breathing problems. You know? All you need to do is just Google the diseases of pedigree dogs. You're going to see like, damn, man, that ain't no way to be living. You know? So a lot of these chihuahuas, they actually have a brain, like their skull is too small for their brain. So it actually, they got constantly headaches, man. Constant headaches, man. That's why some of these little dogs are aggressive as hell. They know they're small, but they still won't fight because they were like, fuck it, man, I'm trying to prove myself. Like that Napoleon complex thing. The shorter they are, the tougher they are. Nah, they're just trying to act out because they're bad, like Michael, right? Anyway, so going on to the rest of Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 4. In those days and in that time, saith Yahweh, the children of Israel shall come, they and the children of Judah together, going and weeping. They shall go and seek Yahweh their power. That's what we're doing right now. We're going and weeping and crying to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Like, hey, can you please get us out of here, man? Because I want to have my own land and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? I want to have my own gold, my own food, my own water. You know what I'm saying? Want to have my own house and stuff like that. Want to have slaves, servants, all those type of things. Don't want to have a social security number. You know what I'm saying? I want to travel when I feel like it. You know what I'm saying? Want to have kids that you own and not the goddamn government and stuff like that. Because they own your kids, you don't. Because if you don't send your kids to school, now they want to fine you and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Who told you that I want to have my kids in school? You know, all these type of things. So now you got to battle that. So that's why we pray for Yahweh Bashem Yahushai to get us up out of this place, right? Just like Yahushai said in the book of Joshua, John chapter 17, he said this, John 17 and it says 15. It says here, I pray not that thou shouldest take them out of the world, but that thou shouldest keep them from the evil of this world. So the Most High is actually asking it, the Lord Yahushua is actually asking it to actually be. How you doing? Shabbat. Yum. The Most High, Yahushua is actually asking. Yahushua is actually asking the Most High not to actually basically kill us. Keep us in the world. Don't kill us out of this world, but keep us in the world, but keep us from the evil of this world. You know what I'm saying? That's what Yahushua is praying for the elect. Right, so go back to Jeremiah 50 and 5 now. It says, they shall ask the way to Zion with their faces thitherward, saying, come, and let us join ourselves to the Lord in a perpetual covenant that shall not be forgotten. And we did forget it, but we're bringing it back. So it's actually not being forgotten, because we're still in Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Now even more than ever before. You know what I'm saying? And you're just trying to keep yourself safe in Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Meaning, don't be going to no other idols and stuff like that, especially when you're new in this truth. But when you're older in this truth, you know what I'm saying? You could do a lot. You could do a lot of things. Just don't let the younger ones see you so that they fall because of your freedom. You gotta watch out with that too. You know what I'm saying? I'm not talking about you smoking weed and shit like that. Be like, oh, it's still from the Most High anyway. No, man. Can't do that. Anyway, verse 6. My people have been lost sheep. Their shepherds have caused them to go astray. They have turned them away on the mountains, which are the other governments. They have gone from the mountain to hill. They have forgotten their resting place. And what is our resting place? Yahweh. That's why this scripture says rest. That's why Noah, his name is rest. Because the Most High put the hope upon him for the rest of the people upon the planet Earth. Actually, for the elect. According to the book of Wisdom of Solomon 14, which I just read. And also 2 Ezra 6 and 54. Right, so it says here, verse 7. Now it says here, all that found them have devoured them, and their adversary says, we offend not, because they have sinned against Yahweh, the habitation of justice, even the Lord, the hope of their fathers. Right, so the hope of our fathers is Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, not the other ones that our people used to start worshiping. The other forefathers of ours that were worshiping, you know, all the other 3,000 something gods and stuff like that. No, these forefathers are the ones that are called Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Those are the forefathers that we should be following after, should be modeling after. That's a real model. That's why I don't like them girls on the catwalk calling them models and shit like that. You know what the word model means? Model is something that you basically want to, as an example, that you want to model yourself after. So if you call one of these females a model, you're saying that actually all females should look like that. That's not no damn model, my man. You know what I'm saying? That's not a model. That's basically something that is called a model. But that's not something that any girl should follow up on the planet Earth, because they starve themselves to death. They smoke, they sniff coke just to stay skinny. They starve themselves to death. They smoke, they sniff coke just to keep thin, make themselves look thin. Anyway, that's what those so-called models are doing nowadays. Jeremiah chapter 50 verse 8. Remove out of the midst of Babylon. Yeah, remove out of the midst of Babylon and go forth out of the land of the Chaldeans and be as the he-goat before the flocks. Yeah, you be as the he-goat before the flocks. Going on, for lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nations from the north country, and they shall set themselves in array against her. From thence, yeah man, let's go. From thence she shall be taken. Their arrows shall be of a mighty man, of an expert man. Let me read it again. From thence she shall be taken. Their arrows shall be as of a mighty expert man. None shall return in vain. So guess what? The Most High is going to set it up to where Esau, starting with America and stuff like that, is going to go to war with, who do you think? With Russia, and also with Europe. They might not believe it yet, but we already know that that's going to happen, because it's already been prophesied through the scriptures by Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Starting, for example, with the book of Ezekiel chapter 38. It's already prophesied there. So let me go on. Now it says here, verse, let me see, 10. And Chaldea shall be a spoil. All that spoil her shall be satisfied, saith Yahweh. Everybody that's going to be spoiled. Look, this already happened, but everybody that's going to spoil the Chaldeans, you're going to be happy. Why? These Chaldeans got a lot of substance, man. So we're going to take everything that the Chaldeans have. We already did it back then. The heathen nations did it back then. But the Most High even said that once that time comes when Esau is destroyed, the modern day Chaldeans and stuff like that, a lot of people will actually try and go and trying to gather their riches, but none of them will be left, because the Most High is going to flatten that country. You know, not even the Arabian is going to pitch tent there anymore. Because the Most High is going to flatten that country. And that country is America. You know, because that World War III will come and they will shoot nuclear missiles upon one another. Yeah. So Jeremiah chapter 50 verse 11, because you were glad, because you rejoiced, O ye destroyers of mine and my heritage. So who did that? The Chaldeans, man. The modern day Chaldeans are the Edomites. Those are the ones that actually enjoyed themselves in the destruction of the nation of Jacob, the so-called Negros, Latinos, and Indianos. Let me read it again. Jeremiah 50 and 10, and Chaldea shall be a spoil. All that spoil her shall be satisfied, saith the Lord. Because ye were glad, because ye rejoiced, O ye destroyers of mine heritage, because ye are grown fat as the heifer at grass, and bellow as bulls. They're very prosperous off of us, man. And you can read that in the book of Jeremiah chapter 25 verse 14. You can read that all the heathen nations of the world, they became prosperous off of us. So Jeremiah 25 and 14. For many nations and great kings shall serve themselves of them also, and I will recompense them according to their deeds and according to the works of their own hands. The Most High is going to pay them back, man. All the money that they made off of our people. And you can see, for example, just a little glimpse of it, which is made public, right? You can see a little glimpse of it concerning the so-called record deal companies and stuff like that. Man, they'd be stealing billions, man. If you put them all together, they've been stolen trillions from the artists and stuff like that. Whitney Houston, Michael, you know, James Brown. Everybody got bad deals, man. They got a 304. You know what I'm saying? Until this day. Look at how they did Kanye Pest. They stole billions from that dummy. But he was lucky that the people was with him. So, you know, he could kind of actually stand on his feet because, you know, he actually have people that fight for him. And started to boycott their products. They was like, fuck no, you ain't doing that to my main man over there, the homie. So, you know, he had backup and stuff like that. Some of these people got backup. You know, they're not really tied. If you pull the rug from under their feet, there is no rug because they're not standing on your grounds. Yeah? If you got a record deal and stuff like that and all these type of things, what are you doing? You're putting your feet on their rug. And they can pull their rug right from under your feet, and you fall, boop. Now you got to pay them back in debt, you in debt and all these type of things, right? But once you ain't doing that, let's say you come off of YouTube and stuff like that, or you made you made your own money by like Master P doing his thing, selling music out the trunk of his car and stuff like that. Okay, you can't kind of cancel him because he's not a part of you. They can only so-called cancel you when you're a part of them. Because if you ain't a part of them, they can't cancel you. You know what I'm saying? Because your money doesn't come from them. It doesn't come out of their pockets. It comes out of the pocket of the people because those are the ones that individually basically buy your stuff. Right? Now it says here, Jeremiah chapter 50 verse, where was I? Where is it? Verse 12. Jeremiah 50 and 12. Now it says here, your mother shall be sore confounded. She that bare you shall be ashamed. Behold, the hindermost of the nations shall be a wilderness, a dry land, and a desert. And who's the mother of America? Who's the mother of modern day Babylon? England. And if you didn't know, the England people don't like Americans that much because they're proud. You know, they talk a lot of shit. The French also don't like them too much. You know what I'm saying? So you already have like the nations are divided against one another. Moreover, actually, they're most of the time divided against America, but you still have people that like them and stuff like that. So I'm not talking about all of them, but going to the elites, the ones that make money and the ones that have the ships, the ones that have the trucks, the ships, the planes and stuff like that, for to carry the cargo and the shipments and all these type of things. Those are the ones that actually have a trouble with one another. That's why they're blocking each other with them sanctions and stuff like that. Look at the Russians and stuff. They already got trouble with America over there, and then that trouble spills on into European troubles and stuff like that. But the modern day people, the average, they don't really have 100% problem with them. It's them people up here. in the uppities. They actually do business with one another, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, so going on, verse 13. Because the wrath of the Lord, it shall be inhabited. It shall not be, because of the wrath of the Lord, it shall not be inhabited, but it shall be wholly desolate. Everyone that goeth by Babylon shall be astonished and hiss at all her plagues. And those plagues are going to come again, because those plagues are mentioned in the book of 2 chapter 15. They're mentioned there that Babylon, modern day Babylon is America, they're going to get those same plagues as it was in the time of Egypt, right? Now this is 2 chapter 15. 2 chapter 15. But yeah, you had the Jake female with 2 tear babies going about speaking on Caesar Borgia to these sodomites. Okay. I was hoping she kept the fuck on walking, but she stood right, stopped right in front of me, but luckily she didn't talk to me. Oh yeah. Second is 15 and Second is 15 and let me see. Second is 15 and 11. It says here, but I will bring them with a mighty hand and stretch. And I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, and smite Egypt with plagues as before, and I will destroy the land thereof. Egypt was never hit with plagues again in the history of history itself. So it's talking about modern day Sodom and Egypt, which is America. Here too, they got that feast going on around here. I think it's the whole month. I'm not sure. I don't look up these things, man. If I just see it or something like that.